My coach, my coach, my coach. Never take credit, I'm David. I fell in the spot, not embarrassed. Life is a trait that I cherish. I can't wait too much to be careless. Young and I get so rebellious. I'm trying to raise his awareness. You want the money or wellness? Your hood will cover your balance. Ain't righteous is nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. Ain't righteous is nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. If it's that truth, you can count me in. Your seed and your truth, I'ma pop it in. If it's too far, I don't have a ride. You know I stay way on the brighter side. I promise you never to dumb it down. Don't measly bucks, I'ma turn it down. Keep it in play, never out of bounds. This Torah I got, never out of round. It's heavy, bro, what are they talking about? They act like this thing is an open house. Before I say yes, I'ma scope it out. I stay far away from a motor mouth. I give up like God ain't no holding out. We headed to y'all like we know the route. You cannot buy any rich man that only work on a sick man. Brewed up with my maker. Can't sleep when the lights on. Made it out, but I came back and show my brother where we went wrong. Straight talk like straight lines. The fast way to the point. Talk a whole lot of that. I'm like, please make your point. Growing numb to the hurt. Tell them right no emotion. Keep my eyes on the road. Left home with emotion. Boost some, bro, I'm super ready. You hood with me, I'ma keep it heavy. Ain't righteous, ain't nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, ain't nothing. Never take credit, I'm David. I fell a little short, not embarrassed. Life is a trait that I cherish. I can't wait too much to be careless. Young and I get so rebellious. I'm trying to raise his awareness. You want the money or wellness? Your hood will cover your balance. Ain't righteous is nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. You know it ain't nothing. Ain't righteous is nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. You know it ain't nothing. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. You know it ain't nothing. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing, man. If it ain't righteous, it's nothing. You know it ain't nothing. You know it ain't nothing.
So we should love the Most High with all of our heart and with all our soul and all our might. So that means keep him on our mind. As we embody his words, we try to keep it with all of our might. That's what we're trying to do. So your soul is fed through what you bring in, what you see in the knowledge that you intake. And with all your soul, you must refrain that flesh from doing the things that you were doing. So you gotta love the Most High with all your might to not go back to your old ways. See, when you love anything this much, you would never want to do anything that could potentially mess it up. You would do the things to make it last as long as it could last. In Yahuwah's case, he is willing to make it last forever.
Shalom, shalom, Yasharallah. I pray, I hope all is well. Forgive me. I want you to know right now that this video, it might be a little lengthy. We're going to take our time. We're going to read the word. We're going to rightly divide it. We're going to go to a few different spots other than Ezekiel, but we are getting Ezekiel. Bet your ass. I haven't read from the verse of the day in a while, and you know I love my context, and it's been a minute, so let's get it. Verse of the day, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 6. Does not rejoice over unrighteousness, but rejoices in the truth. Let's get this full chapter. If I speak with the tongues of men and of messengers, but do not have love, I have become as sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophecy and know all secrets and all knowledge, and if I have all belief so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am none at all. I can vouch for what he's saying right here, because with all that, all of what he just described, it comes from love. You ain't going to do any of that stuff. You're not going to be speaking the word of the Most High, prophesying. He won't give you secrets and knowledge. You won't have the belief that's required to move mountains. You won't be moving mountains. You won't be casting them into the sea like me if you don't have love. And if I give out all my possessions to feed the poor, and if I give my body to be burned and do not have love, I am not profited at all. Y'all have heard this before, right? Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not boast. And love is not puffed up. Love does not behave indecently. Love does not seek its own. Love is not provoked. Love reckons not the evil. It don't point out the wrong. It's committed to love. It's committed to you. Love does not rejoice over the unrighteousness. Love but rejoices in the truth. It covers all. Love believes all. Love expects all. Love endures all. Love never fails, and whether there be prophecies, they shall be inactive, or tongues, they shall cease, or knowledge, it shall be inactive. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part shall be inactive. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child, I reasoned as a child. But when I became a man, I did away with childish matters. For now we see in a mirror, dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know, as I also have been known. And now belief, expectation, and love remain, these three. But the greatest of these is love. You have to love the Most High to believe in anything He's about. You have to love the truth in order to even find out what He's about. I told you that the last video I made, I was going to title Loving Commitment. That's the title for this video. Loving Commitment. Moses. What I want to talk to you about is Moses, Moshe. When he told him in Yasharallah to go in and possess the land, they sent scouts out. Some of which who came back and said, we can't go in there, Moses. Go tell Abba, we can't do it. We ain't man enough. There's giants in there. We are as grasshoppers in their sight. I call bullshit on that. Because the love I have for the Most High Abba, Yahuwah, which walks hand in hand with my belief, my concrete faith in Him. It causes me to have confirmation from Him to know that ain't no giant, ain't no fallen angel, no deity, no entity, no nothing that got anything on my Abba. He sent me in just like those scouts for you. And there ain't nothing over here that you should fear. Come with your faith, with your belief, with your love in the Most High and His truth. come packing. Come prepared to stomp mud holes in all the enemy's ass. There's nothing they got on the Most High. We're his children, so that means they've got nothing on us. Let's go see Deuteronomy chapter 1 before we go to Ezekiel real quick. These are the words which Moshe spoke to all Yasharal beyond the Jordan, the Yarden, in the wilderness, back towards Denver, in the desert plain, opposite Sup, between Paran, Tophel, Laban, Hasaroth, and Dizahab. 11 days' journey from Horeb by way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. And it came to be in the 40th year, in the 11th new moon, 114, on the first day of the new moon, that Moshe spoke to the children of Yasharal according to all that Yahuwah had commanded him concerning them. After he had stricken Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, sovereign of Bashan, who dwelt at Ashtaroth and Edrei, beyond the Jordan, in the land of Moab. Look at a map. Use your headphones. Moshe undertook to declare this Torah, saying, Yahuwah, our Most High, our mighty Most High, spoke to us in Horeb, saying, You have dwelt long enough at this mountain. Turn and set out on your way, and go into the mountains of the Amorites, and to all the neighboring places in the desert plain, in the mountains, and in the low country, and in the Negeb, and on the sea coast, to the land of the Canaanites, and to Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates. See, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which Yahuwah swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Ishtag, Isaac, and Jacob, to give to them and their seed after them. And I spoke to you at that time, saying, I am unable to bear you by myself. Yahuwah, your Most High, has increased you. And see, you are today as numerous as the stars of the heavens. Yahuwah, your Most High of your fathers, is going to add to you 1,000 times more than you are, and bless you as he has spoken to you. How do I bear your pressure and your burden and your strife by myself? Choose men, wise and understanding and known to your tribes, and let me appoint them as your heads. And you answered me and said, The word which you have spoken to us to do is good. And I took the heads of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, and leaders of 50s and 10s of your tribes, officers of your tribes, for your tribes. And I commanded your judges at that time, saying, When hearing between you brothers, your brothers, judge righteously between a man and his brother, or the stranger who is with him. Do not show partiality in right ruling. Hear the small as well as the great. Do not be afraid of anyone's face, for the right ruling belongs to the Most High. And the case which is too hard for you, bring it to me, and I shall hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the words which you should do. Then we set out from Horeb and went through all that great and awesome wilderness which you saw on the way to the mountains of the Amorites, as Yahuwah our Most High had commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea. And I said to you, You have come to the mountains of the Amorites which Yahuwah our Most High has given us. See, Yahuwah your Most High has set the land before you. Go up and possess it, as Yahuwah the Most High of your fathers have spoken to you. Do not fear, nor be discouraged. And all of you came near to me and said, Let us send men before us, and let them search out the land for us, and bring back word to us that the way by which we should go up, and of the cities into which we would come. And the matter was good in my eyes, so I took 12 of your men, 1 man from each tribe. I'm going to stop there in Deuteronomy. If you've been paying attention, you've been following along, you should know how to clean up your threshold. You should know what the threshold is. When Yasharallah came from Mitzrayim, Egypt, they had to go through the wilderness and cross a threshold. It took them 40 years. A lot of them didn't make it. Moses never got to enter the promised land. He got to see it on Mount Nebo, but he didn't get to enter it because he lacked the faith required to move mountains. He had faith, but when it came down to it, when the thought of giants, when the thought of what scares you and keeps you awake at night came to your mind, came to his mind, he wasn't down to ride. He wasn't down for Abba Yahuwah the way you need to be, the way Noah, Job, and Daniel were. There's things that if you want to live and live for eternity, if you want all that, there's things you're going to have to do. There's things that you're going to be afraid of, but you just have to suck it up, buttercup, and walk in faith, knowing Abba Yahuwah got you. Chapter 16, Ezekiel, verse 1. And again the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, Son of man, make known to Jerusalem her abomination, and say, Thus said the Master Yahuwah to Jerusalem, your origin and your birth are from the land of Canaan. And I've showed you that that's out in California many times. All southwest, especially down by LA. Prove me wrong. Your father was an Amorite and your mother a Hittite. As for your birth, on the day you were born, your navel cord was not cut, nor were you washed in water for cleansing, and you were not rubbed with salt at all, nor wrapped in cloth at all. No, I felt sorry for you, to do any of these for you, to have compassion on you. But you were thrown out into the open field, to the loathing of your life on the day you were born. The beginning of this country, this American spirit, American dream that brought about rottenness, that spoiled the whole earth, that made so many people alive today think that their shit don't stink. They walk around like banshee roosters with their chest poked out. And none of which is for Abba. It's all for them and what they've done. Is that you? Is it you? It might just be you. You never know. If you stayed around long enough, you didn't touch that dial, and you come because you're hungry and thirsty for the word of Abba Yahuwah, the Most High. Verse 6. Then I passed by you and saw you trampled down in your own blood, and I said to you in your blood, live. And I said to you in your blood, live. Remember the last video I made? I said that if he said that the tree in the garden, that the tree he was talking about, the idea that produces pride, that your shit don't stink. It's worthless. It doesn't achieve a damn thing but dig your grave, and that's it. It has nothing to do with life. In it you can't find life, nor will you live. He found you, if you've come out of it, in your blood. And he said to you, live. I have let you grow like a plant in the field, and you are grown and are great, and you come in the finest ornaments. Breasts were formed, your hair grew, and you were naked and bare. And again, I passed by you and looked upon you and saw that your time was the time of carnal love. And I spread my skirt over you and covered your nakedness. And I swore an oath to you and entered into a covenant with you, and you became mine, declares the Master Yahuwah. You see how he said, I covered your nakedness? I just was telling you about the tree in the garden, in the midst of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. When they committed that act and became prideful, he covered their nakedness. That was when the first sacrifice was made. He didn't take an animal to an altar and sprinkle blood. An animal's life was sacrificed in order for them to have clothing, in order to cover their nakedness. And I washed you in water, and I washed off your blood, and I anointed you with oil, and I dressed you in an embroidered work, and gave you sandals of leather, and I wrapped you in fine linen, and covered you with silk. And I adorned you with ornaments, and I put bracelets on your wrist, and a chain on your neck, and I put a ring on your nose, and earrings in your ears, and a crown of adorning on your head. Thus you were adorned with gold and silver, and your dress was of fine linen, and silk, and embroidered cloth. You ate fine flour and honey and oil. You were exceedingly beautiful and became fit for royalty. And your name went out among the nations because of your loveliness, for it was perfect by my splendor which I had put on you, declares the Master Yahuwah. But you trusted in your own loveliness and whored because of your name. There you go. Your shit does stink, but you thought it didn't. And poured out your whorings on everyone passing by who would have it. And you took some of your garments and made multicolored high places for yourself. Sound familiar? And whored on them, which you have not come about, nor shall it be. And you took your splendid ornaments of my gold and my silver that I gave you, and made for yourself images of a male, and whored with them. Just talking about multicolored ornaments, garments. And you took your embroidered garments and covered them, and you set my oil and my incense before them. Any esteem, where is your esteem for him, for the Most High? Just look, be honest with yourself. Take an inventory of where your esteem goes, and if it goes to the Most High, or if it's going to him enough. If it's going to him enough. Is it? Does it go somewhere else? It's probably going somewhere that you don't even realize it's going. But if you would follow the paper trail, you would see where it ultimately ends up. And my food which I gave you, fine flour and oil and honey which I fed you, you set it before them as sweet incense, and so it was, declares the Master Yahuwah. All the talent he's give you, all the breath of life he has breathed in your nostrils, everything that makes you amazing and lovable that he gave you, you are giving that to someone or something else. You're not giving it to the Most High. And you took your sons and your daughters whom you bore to me, and these you slaughtered as food to them. Were your whorings a small matter? And you have slain my children and gave them up to them by causing them to pass through the fire. I've always used the word to define what the word says. I'm going to tell you, be honest with you right now, I don't know exactly for sure what it means when he's saying that they passed their children through the fire, but I'm about 86% sure that those people who celebrate Christmas and Easter and Hanukkah and birthday parties, spoiled rotten parties, and Valentine's Day, and all these days where they spoil their children who are expecting great gifts, and if they don't get them, they're depressed and they hate their parents. They think their parents are POSs. They tell their kids, their neighbor kids that, and their neighbor kids tell their mom that, and the whole neighborhood thinks that. Or if the parents do get their children what they want, it could be on Hanukkah, it could be on Christmas, it could be any day. There's parents out there who put themselves in depression and stressful situations in order to accommodate these children in their spoiled rottenness. Not accommodate them, they created it. And those children, more than likely, will never recover. They'll live their lives according to Hollywood and what's trending the rest of their life. Never giving them any information, actual information, so they can do actual work with their lives. They've passed them over to the fire, because the fire that he's talking about, it consumes. There'll be no more. If you can't be watchman over your own house, and you're going to be guilty of your own house's blood, it'll be on your head. You ain't fit to be a watchman of anything else. You can't even watch over your own house. And in all your abominations and whorings, you did not remember the days of your youth, when you were naked and bare, trampled down in your blood. Then it came to be after you, all your evil. Woe to you, declares the Master Yahuwah, that you also built an arched place for yourself and made a high place in every street for yourself. A lot of that is still standing for you to find and see. You could go on your Google Maps and find the arch places and the high places, if you know where you're looking. Yeah. You built your high places at the head of every way. I can confirm that that's true. And made your loveliness to be loathed. And you parted your feet to everyone who passed by, and increased your whorings. And you whored with the sons of Mitzrayim. That's Egypt, the real name for Egypt. Your neighbors, great of flesh. And you increased your whorings to provoke me. You provoke a lot of people. The majority of people out here, they provoke Abba to where he's ready to smash them. And he probably will. He will. And they don't even know it. They don't realize they're provoking him. You have to get face down and ask him. If you can't ask him, if you think there's nothing you're doing, you have some pride within you that thinks your shit don't stink. So you ain't getting face down. You're not going to come to him humbly and say, Abba Yahuwah, is there something that I'm doing that offends you, that I don't know about? Because I don't know everything. You do. Tell me. Instruct me. If you can't do that, you think your shit don't stink, bye. Verse 27, and see, I have stretched out my hand against you and withdrew what is lawfully yours, and gave you up to the desire of those who hate you, the daughters of the Philistines, who are ashamed of your wicked way. And you whored with the sons of Ashur. Sons of Ashur, fallen angels, Satan, without being satisfied. And you whored with them and still were not satisfied. And you increased your whorings as far as the land of traders, Kasdima, and even then you were not satisfied. How weak is your heart, declares the Master Yahuwah. Seeing you do all this, the deeds of a shameless whore. You built your arch place at the head of every way. I've been talking about arches. I've been talking about the arch in St. Louis. You guys best wake up and recognize what's going on. And don't be content with what these scumbags tell you. Go to the source if you want the truth. Yet you were unlike a whore. You scorned a harlot fee, the wife who commits adultery, who takes strangers instead of her husband. The Star of David, stranger. It's not the Star of David. It's the Star of Remphan, Molech. That's who that is. Yes. And you can argue it all you want. Go ahead. To all whores they give gifts, but you gave gifts to all your lovers and bribed them to come to you from all around in your whorings. Thus you are different from other women in your whorings, because no one whores after you, and in you giving a harlot fee, while harlot fee was not given to you. Thus you are different. You know what that is? You see America, the government of America, going and giving billions and trillions of dollars to these other countries. That's why they give it to them, so they'll whore with them, so they can spread more paganry. That's why you wonder why they're giving $10 billion to Ukraine and all these countries. That's why. That's why. So they can set up shop there. Otherwise, there would be no need to give them any money. They're spreading their legs to every country they can. And a lot of these countries are shutting down shop. They're closing their legs to America. Therefore, O whore, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus said the Master Yahuwah, because your copper was poured out, that right there has the roll up your sleeves all over it right there. That's what it's. If you look into this, you'll see the significance of copper. I told you, Abba's words, every word is 1,000,000,000% necessary. Prove me wrong. You won't, because you can't. I'll be right here waiting. Copper was poured out, and your nakedness uncovered in your whorings with your lovers and with the idols of your abominations, and because of the blood of your children which you gave to them. You gave to them. There ain't going to be no straight up sacrifices, but there might as well be. There might as well be these parents out here doing that, because when they raise them and rear them up in Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, all these things, they might as well just go ahead and put them on the fiery hot arms of Molech now. I'm not encouraging that, but you're giving their eternal lives over to the fire. That's what you're doing. You best rear them up in the Torah, in the way in the life now. Don't worry about the consequences. Don't worry about the giants on the other side of that threshold. They got nothing on Abba Yahuwah. Therefore, see, I am gathering all your lovers with whom you took pleasure, all those you loved, with all those you hated, and I shall gather them from all around against you, and I shall uncover your nakedness to them, and they shall see all your nakedness. And I shall judge you with judgments of adulteresses and shedders of blood, and I shall bring on you the blood of wrath and jealousy, and I shall give you into their hand, and they shall throw your arch place down, and they shall break down your high places, and they shall strip you of your garments, and they shall take your splendid ornaments, and they leave you naked and bare, and they shall bring up an assembly against you, and they shall stone you with stones, and thrust you through with their swords, and burn your houses with fire, and execute judgments on you before the eyes of many women, and I shall make you stop whoring and no longer give harlot fees. Ain't nobody gonna take your money no more, America. They ain't gonna take it no more, because they know what it means to take it. So I shall bring my wrath to rest upon you, and my jealousy shall turn away from you, and I shall be calm and no longer be vexed. Because you did not remember the days of your youth, you troubled me with all this. So see, I shall also bring your way on your own head, declares the Master Yahuwah, and shall I not do this thought for all your abominations? See, all who use proverbs shall use this proverbs against you, like mother, like daughter, meaning anything that comes out after the destruction of this place that even looks like this place, it's going to be like mother, like daughter. They're going to be like, nope, no thanks. You are your mother's daughter who despises her husband and her children. Sound familiar? And you are the sister of your sisters who despise their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite and your father an Amorite. And your elder sister is Cimarron, which I'm pretty sure means Samarian. So he's saying your elder sister is Samarian. She and her daughters, who is dwelling to the north of you, and your younger sister, who is dwelling to the south of you, is Sodom and her daughters. And have you not walked in their ways and did according to their abominations? But in all your ways you soon became more corrupt than they. As I live, And I bet these people he's talking about, they think they ain't corrupt. They're like, we ain't corrupt. God, oh Lord, they think that. But they are. Just with the words they let roll out their lips, they're corrupt. As I live, declares Master Yahuwah, neither your sister Sodom nor her daughters have done as you and your daughters have done. See, this was the crookedness of your sister. The crookedness. I told you, I was just saying that. You know what? You should know what the crookedness is of your sister Sodom. She and her daughter had pride, sufficiency of bread, and unconcerned ease, and she did not help the poor and needy. No. And they were haughty and did abominations before me, and I took them away when I saw it. And Samaria did not commit half of your sins. Samaria. But you have increased your abominations more than they, and by all the abominations which you have done, you made your sisters seem righteous. You also, who pleaded for your sisters, bear your own shame, because the sins which you committed were more abominable than theirs. They are more righteous than you, so be ashamed too, and bear your own shame, because you have made your sisters seem righteous. And these are sisters who committed abominations. They seem righteous because of the shit the current day Christian Messianic believers do. And I shall turn back their captivity, the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Samaria and her daughters, and the captivity of your captives with them, so that you bear your shame, and shall blush for all that you did when you comforted them. And your sisters, you blush for all you did when you comforted them. Did you comfort the name Jesus? Christ? Krishna? Did you do that? Did you comfort the name of Baal? Lord? Did you consider the set-apart spirit to be a being, the Trinity, part of the Trinity? Did you do that? Did you have Christmas? Anything to do with Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, Valentine's Day, birthday parties, wrapped gifts, candles? And never one time posting a banner with the name of Yahuwah on it? Did you do that? And your sisters, Sodom and her daughters, returned to their former state, and Samaria and her daughters returned to their former state, and you and your daughters returned to your former state. Was not your sister Sodom a byword in your mouth in the days of your pride? Yes, it was. They saw Sodom and Gomorrah all the time. It was a byword in their mouth, but it didn't matter. They were worse. And they never took the time to see if they really were, because they thought their shit didn't stink. Before your evil was exposed, as the time of the reproach of the daughters of Aram and all who are around her, and all and of the daughters of the Philistines who are despising you everywhere, you shall bear your wickedness and your abominations, declare Yahuwah. And I'm in that group too. These Christians, I told you about that fake attitude they just smudge on their face when they're talking to you. They come up and say, "Oh, do you know the Lord Jesus Christ? Can I pray for you?" It's so fake. Ain't none of it real. It'll be burned up like what's not twigs, but them little pieces that you save to start the fire with, I can't think of the name of it right now, but that's what they're going to be. They're gone. They don't stand on no foundation. Their foundation has the word money written on it. They want to pray for you because they feel that you're poorer than they are. If you had Gucci all over your attire, they wouldn't. They'd come up and ask you. They'd want to kiss your ass. That's what they'd want to do, and that's the truth. Yeah, is it hard? Is it hard to swallow? No, not for me. It ain't, because it's the truth. You shall bear your wickedness and your abominations, declare Yahuwah. For thus said the Master Yahuwah, I shall deal with you as I have done, in that you have despised the oath of breaking the covenant. You brought all your statues and your Your lover's in, you broke that covenant. But I shall remember my covenant with you in the days of your youth, and I shall establish an everlasting covenant with you. People who come to esteem the Most High. And you shall remember your ways and be ashamed when you receive your older and your younger sisters, and I shall give them to you for daughters, though not by your own covenant. He said that so you don't ever forget it, that it ain't got nothing to do with you. It's all him. Your shit stinks. Just go ahead and admit it, because it does. And I myself shall establish my covenant with you, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah, so that you remember, and you shall be ashamed, and never open your mouth any more because of your shame, when I pardon you for all you have done, declares the Master Yahuwah. One thing I do want to tell you, your shit does stink. I've been telling you that. You should have got that memo. You got it. But it don't matter if you've asked for forgiveness, if you've come face down, and you give all esteem to Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, our wonderful Creator. He pardoned you for any transgressions that you've committed in the past. Any transgressions. Don't sweat a one of them. But don't be doing a one of them now. They have to go. Let go. Be committed to loving Abba Yahuwah, the Most High, by getting down on your face and giving him all honor, all praise, all glory, and all esteem. And be pardoned from all past transgressions, like me.